Didn't you like that, Bridget?
That's great.
First of all, welcome everyone to Sysco's Virtual Kitchen. We have a super excited show today with Bocuse Academy. I'm like blown away by who we're going to bring into the show today and who we have on the show today and the amazing stuff you're going to see today from this amazing organization. And first of all, Bridget, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having us.
So Bridget, the vice president, award-winning guru, marketing pro, you're like the god of marketing, and the president of PR department marketing. You're incredible. First of all, thank you for being on the show, and the vice president of Bocuse Canada. Can you share a little bit what we're going to be doing today and chatting and the team, and we'll introduce everyone?
Well, we're super excited to be on the show, first of all, so thank you for having us. And I'd love to present to you Team Canada, Bocuse d'Or Team Canada. So we have Chef Samuel Sirois, who's our national culinary athlete, who's representing Canada at the competition, but also on the world stage. Sam will talk to you a little later about the team and how he picked his team and what he's working on. We have Alexis Jeté, who's Sam's commis, and Chef Alvin Leong, one of the two coach in Team Canada, and one of the only Canadian chefs to have Michelin stars to his name. Fun fact, we believe that at Bocuse d'Or, I believe that it's the first time at Bocuse d'Or in general, not just in Canada, but I think in Bocuse d'Or history, that a team has two coaches. So Sam can definitely elaborate on that a little later. And I'm really confident. I'm not really confident that everybody knows about what Team Canada is and why is it's important for Canada to have a team. So first, I'd like maybe for Sam to talk a little bit about his experience and his dream of being our Bocuse d'Or representative on the world stage. Sam?
Yeah, with pleasure. Actually, first, thanks, Jay, to receive us. Thanks, Sysco, for receiving us. And actually, it's a dream for me to be to represent Canada at the Bocuse d'Or in Lyon. I choose to have two coaches. I have one which is not here today, unfortunately, but his name is Gilles Herzog. Is the French part of our team. And for sure, I have my right hand, who's Alexis, my commis. And the other coach I had, and is going to be the judge too at Lyon, it's going to be Alvin. And for sure, it's very, very important to have a team to represent Canada in Bocuse. Why? Because it will put the emphasis and the spotlight on Canada and the restaurant industry. That's why it's very important, and that's why it's a dream for me to represent Canada, to share with all the chefs coast to coast. That's it, and it's an honor for me. And maybe Alvin can explain why a renowned chef as him is involved in our team.
Oh, thanks, Sam. Are we live?
Yeah.
It's around 7 a.m. in the morning here in Hong Kong, so I'm barely alive. I think I flushed my notes down the toilet where I was brushing my teeth. But anyway, yes, I'm one of the two coaches, and I believe that we're probably first time in history with two coaches, and there's nothing wrong. I think two coaches. My specialty is probably strategy. As Bridget Connie said, yes, I am a Michelin star and I am Canadian. I'm very proud to be Canadian. And I really wanted to prove to the world that Canadian can be in the culinary world. I mean, many moons ago, not many moons ago, we have quite a few Scandinavian countries. I won't name which one, but the one with the Little Mermaid. They have done very successful in Ecuador, and now they are, they have, that country now has Michelin stars and a lot of things. And I think it's very important that we bring Canada to the culinary world because, as I say, we have all the resources. We have definitely the products. We're a much bigger country. And, it's very, very important. And do we have a chance to win? I can tell you, I'm a tough Asian. I only compete to win, and I think we have a very, very good chance. No, I'm a Toronto Maple Leaf fan, so that may not be true. But aside from that, yes, I think we do have all the resources to win this thing. And I have a lot of confidence in Sam. It's my 2 minutes up yet. So I have a lot of confidence in Sam, and I really seriously think that, I know that we can do well. And by doing that, we're going to bring a lot of attention to Canada, especially for its culinary world. Lots of people are going to come to Canada for its food, not just for the snow.
I agree. I have to agree with Alvin. I think on this one, we know for a fact that food tourism is the number one form of tourism now in the world, and we've seen from past winners, including the Nordic countries, that have become in the spotlight for tourism over the past few years, and that's why it's important for Canada to be represented on the world stage and have the chance to showcase not only our technique, but also our ingredients, our farmers, our producers, our industry, and what we have to offer. That is exactly what the competition is. And Sam could maybe talk a little bit about the ingredients he's chosen, because that's our mandate when we go to Lyon, is serving Canada on a plate. So Sam, without saying everything, maybe you can tell people a little bit about what ingredients you've been playing with to truly showcase Canada.
Yeah, actually, I'm from Quebec, from Montreal, but I didn't only choose ingredients from my province. I choose from my country. So from coast to coast, I choose some ingredients like seaweeds from BC, some oysters from BC too, morels from BC. I choose buckwheat from Quebec, mustard seeds from Saskatchewan. So I really go in coast to coast to find my ingredients and to find the little special thing that the farmers can give to me and the tips to work with those ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, can I interrupt here?
Yeah.
Not only this can have the ingredients. I think the strategy is that we also have the people. We also have the diversity in Canada. I think one thing we're going to be working on is Canada is so diversified right now. With I myself is an immigrant, and you can see, that I don't look like the typical Canadian, but I am a typical Canadian. I mean, you cut me up, maple syrup will come out. So I'm just that we all have diversity, because Canada is so diverse, and we are proud of it. So we have the advantage of a much bigger library of techniques, different flavors. I'm really excited.
Mm-hmm. And I think that it's important for chefs to come alongside us. We've been working really hard over the last 4 years to make a name for Bocuse d'Or in Canada. But to us, winning at Bocuse d'Or is a team effort. And we really would like to tell the chefs and the cooks that might be listening right now to join our family. Our family includes now over 300 chefs from coast to coast that really get involved with us and support us. Names like Mark McEwen, like Alex Chan, a past contender in BC, Normand Laprise in Quebec. I mean, there's a slew of them that supports the Bocuse d'Or Team Canada, and we invite people to come and check out our webpage at bocusedorcanada.ca. There's actually a tab called Our Family, and you can see all the chefs that are proudly show that they're part of our family. And we invite you the listeners also to like our Facebook or Instagram page. There's lots of news coming up in the next few weeks, and we'd love to add anybody who's interested in joining us, just send us a DM, and we'd gladly will send you a link to be part of our ambassadors. And one of them is definitely Ned Bell, who's going to come up just in a few minutes.
And, you know, Bridget, I just got to jump in there because, first of all, at Sysco Canada, we're like stoked with this relationship that we have with you guys, and the way that you guys have the passion and love for the industry and for food and the professionalism that you guys bring. It's outstanding. First of all, it's incredible, and we're so excited about it. And I know there's a comment here that came across from Nancy saying lots of diversity, and I love that. And when you look on your page, see your family, I think that's the strength. And back to kind of like what Alvin's saying, that is Canadian, right? And that's what's so beautiful about what you guys do, and then bring it through into the dishes that you do, and the passion you guys have. Outstanding. And we're just stoked about that from the industry, because we need to support this industry. We've been through a lot lately. We're not going to get into the doom and gloom of what's happening and what has happened, but you're right. Organization like Bocuse, you guys, you inspire people. You inspire chefs to do these things, and it's just great. So outstanding.
And that's the goal of this show that we are launching today with Sysco is called Bocuse Academy, because it's about sharing our knowledge, and it's sharing and opening up a conversation to inspire people, and that's who we want to be as a team. We want to be accessible, being able to be there as a family to help each other in good times or in bad times, to help all of us succeed.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
To get Alvin out of bed at 7 a.m. in Hong Kong, you know, it's special.
Going to bed.
That rock star lifestyle's hard, eh, Alvin?
Hey, maybe Alexis could talk a little bit about the commis.
Yeah, Alexis.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you very much, Jay, to having us on the podcast. So my rules, not my rules, sorry. My role in the Bocuse d'Or, it's very to assist Sam. Like he said, I'm his right hand. I'm like the shadow behind him. I make the things look more easy for him and we really dance together. We are like two partners.
Yeah, he's without him, I cannot compete, and I think any chefs going to Bocuse d'Or will say that without a good commis as mine, as Alexis, I cannot do nothing. I just it's a big thing to get a good commis, and that's why I choose him. It's one next student of mine. And you know, now it's an opportunity for him and for me to work together and going to Lyon together.
Amazing. And I read a little bit about that. He's really your right hand man. Like you're right. Like you need that, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Great relationship. Awesome stuff. Alvin, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I tell you, Alexis, because unfortunately there's a possibility Alexis may not be able to compete because, you know, the Bocuse d'Or has been maybe postponed. But I can tell you, he's going to be the third coach. He's going to be the third coach. He's going to be training the next commis. So, you know, we're going to, you know, Canada's not just going to have two coaches, but possibility now we're going to have three coaches. I think, makes us, probably the strongest team because because, we are getting properly organized. We have the right candidate. And of course, we have the passion.
Well, Canada's never been on the podium yet, but I think the closest we've been was 5th place. So we're hoping that this will change at the next competition.
Fourth?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
4th place. Well, actually, one addition to that to help us succeed, on top of our 300 chefs that coaches as well and give their input to Sam, we have a brand new kitchen. That's where Sam is broadcasting today from the kitchen at l'ITHQ, which is a kitchen that's been just built, brand new built, that is exactly a replica of the kitchen in Lyon that we would be assigned to, and that has been a first in Canada. And it's because of the collaboration between l'ITHQ and the Quebec Canadian government that's like us think that the culinary arts have their place in promoting Canada here from coast to coast, but also abroad.
Very cool.
So we should be talking about our theme of this week. Every month we'll have a theme. So this week we're talking about fish and seafood.
Yeah, very exciting. And I believe, Sam, you're going to show us an awesome recipe that you've done. First of all,
very simple
you gave me a little
recipe,
sneak peek there.
The clue of the night is going to be our expert in seafood and fish. But yes, I give tips for a little different recipe that chef's going to use for takeout. I mean, the layout is on the plate for tonight because I don't work in takeout containers. But they can do anything they want. It's only ideas that I pitched tonight. So that's it. Very simple, tasty, and all the time my master in cuisine said that to me. You really have to focus on the taste, and taste. The triple T rule. So that's what I'm doing tonight.
What are you making, Sam?
Oh, tonight I'm gonna make a salmon with black garlic cream on the top, crunchy with seaweeds and chicken crumble and panko crumble too. A little side of radish and green onion with green oil. And I'll finish with that with tagliatelle of celeriac with a little bit of hazelnut water and hazelnut oil, and brown butter inside.
I'd order that. I'd order that.
That is awesome.
I think a starter, but you can't. That's why I said it's not important to say okay, it's gonna be a starter or a main course. Chefs knows their business and they're gonna do what they have to do to take this recipe and to bring to the customer as they want. So I just give some tips, and if they please it, good. If they don't, good too. I'm here just to show some ideas of mine, and that's it. So
yeah, it's inspiration, right? We're talking about takeout and how we can include seafood and fish in takeout. I think we should bring in our guest, Ned Bell, the expert in fish and seafood.
Hi, Ned.
Meanwhile, I'm going to start the dish, and I'll show you just right after. Okay.
Sounds good.
Thanks, up. Welcome, Ned.
Good.
Hi, everybody. How are we? Nice to see everyone.
Got a packed house of all these guys all together. This is crazy, first of all.
It is a packed house. Well, I'm honored to be here, of course. Thanks to Sysco and to Bocuse d'Or Team Canada. Thrilled to be an ambassador. I've known Sam for a long time and actually saw him win his position a number of years ago when he just blew the judges out of the water with his skill and his triple T, his taste. It was quite a show.
That's right. You were one of the judges, weren't you, Ned?
I was. It was a fantastic experience to watch Sam cook under pressure, and since then, of course, watched him from afar as he's been trialing his creations, from across the country, and certainly being inspired by ingredients from coast to coast to coast here in this wonderful place that we get to call home.
Yeah, awesome.
Really cool. So Ned, I got a few questions regarding salmon as Sam is preparing that today, and I'm scared sometimes to ask someone your knowledge about salmon, but when we were looking about products and stuff like that today as what to focus on with Bocuse and to really, like what to decide on, I remember talking to Bridget and I said, really salmon to me, such a great product. What a great experience when you go out and you dine. I'm not seeing it as a conversational point in the whole delivery and takeout world right now. Is that something that, so that's why we picked today to focus on salmon. Is that something that you're seeing, Ned? Is there something that we can tell the restaurateurs out there and the chefs, don't give up on this product? It is something that people can order and still have that great experience?
Oh my gosh, of course. I mean, we need to eat more fish. It's
There we go.
delicious. It's healthy. Of course, we're in this incredible country that has this, three oceans that surround us. Long, diverse coastlines that are really giving us these incredible ingredients. Whether it's wild seafood or farmed seafood, the conversation around aquaculture and around harvesting fish, has been generations, has been hundreds and hundreds of years here in Canada, whether it's the East Coast in Newfoundland or out here on the West Coast where I'm from. Salmon, of course, is one of the most premium species that you could possibly put on your plate if you're fortunate enough to get some wild salmon here on the West Coast. And then, of course, we farm a number of species in Canada, either on the ocean or inland. And my first and foremost is always, is it sustainable? Ask the question of your supplier, Sysco. Is this sustainable? Is it certified? Is it recommended by Oceanwise, one of our leading sustainable seafood brands here in this country, of which I actually was the exec chef for a long time. And seafood is confusing. There are hundreds of different things we could and should be eating. I love that Sam is using seaweed in his recipe for today and in his competition plates creations over at Bocuse. But salmon is such a great fish because it's versatile, it's inexpensive. This farmed seafood, ASC, Aquaculture Stewardship Council recommended seafood or salmon, is available all year long from Sysco, of course. And the reality is there's many choices, and if you're looking for great sustainable seafood, look for Oceanwise recommended, or what I call the Ocean Guardians, a number of other certifications and recommendations that are available to chefs through their suppliers, or of course available to consumers through grocery and retail across the country.
But why are we not seeing it on takeout menus as much as we should?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think the truth is Canadians, North Americans don't eat a lot of fish. We actually eat more French fries than we do seafood. If you look at our diets over a 12-month period of time, I think menus, most of us eat seafood in restaurants when we go out to eat. We rarely cook it at home. And if we do cook it at home, we often cook one of the four most consumed seafoods in North America: salmon, shrimp, some sort of whitefish, and tuna. Of course, you can appreciate there's hundreds, if not thousands, of things in the ocean that we could and should be eating more of. But we're creatures of habit, us North Americans. We're eating the proteins that are raised on land. Beef, of course, chicken and pork. We're all eating maybe more nutrient dense plant-based ingredients, but we should be eating more sustainable seafood. Absolutely, it's good for us. It's available. There's all kinds of affordable options, and it's just a little bit more difficult to cook. But like anything, put a little passion into it. Give it a try. I actually have a cookbook that I launched a few years ago, and in the book, I challenged people with something I called the 52 and 12, which was, why not eat sustainable seafood once a week for the next year, and then once a month try something from the ocean you've never had before? And I think you gotta experiment. We're creatures of habit. What can I say? We need to. I mean, gosh, we have all the time in the world right now. Why aren't we cooking a little bit more at home?
But people that are listening are probably chefs and cooks in different restaurants. Does fish, salmon, for example, travel well in takeout containers? Is that perhaps a reason why we don't see it so much on menus?
Yeah, the reality is, if the seafood is premium quality, super fresh, it will last. This salmon specifically has a really nice richness to it. It's got lots of fat, and so it's not going to overcook in the takeout container. Wild salmon, maybe sockeye salmon specifically, might not be the best, for a takeout container. But if you cook it properly, and maybe you slightly undercook it, and you send it out to your guests and they get it home and they eat it, relatively quickly, I think they're going to have a lovely meal. And I'm fortunate. I get wild salmon all the time. I'm one of the lucky ones. Mother Nature gave us this extraordinary fish. And so we eat a ton of wild salmon out here on the West Coast.
So I have a couple of questions, but I'm watching Alvin here. He's watching Sam cook, just so you know. He's watching the technique, I think, a little here.
No, but actually, it's a simple recipe. Okay, frankly, it's celeriac, just a little bit. Like I just try to cook it quickly, as I did with tagliatelle, and put some hazelnuts inside, as you can see, some chives too, and a little bit of hazelnut oil too. So now I'm just gonna go to take my salmon, and as Ned said it, I barely cook it. Actually, I half cook it, and I marinate it before. That's why it's a good recipe, because, and for the takeout, it's a good recipe too, because we can use it and do it like the day before, and after that you can use it the day for your mise en place, and you're just good to put the black garlic cream on the top of marinated salmon. So I'm gonna put it on a plate.
Are you going to share this recipe somewhere, Sam?
Yeah, well, and I'm gonna give the picture and the recipe too for Jay to send to the people who really wants to know how to work with that recipe and the little tips too. So
Absolutely.
just a little bit of crunchy at the end.
So how much is the dish? Obviously, I'm going to say probably a really bad question, but how much is the dish presentation worth when you're in competition? Is it 50%?
The taste
Sorry, go ahead.
the same amount as the presentation at the Bocuse d'Or. That's why it's very, very important, But the presentation is something in competition, But when you're in restaurant, it's very important too. But for takeout, maybe we have to put an emphasis on the taste and not on the presentation. Yes, it's important. Yes, we have to make sure that everything is beautiful when they arrive at home. But the delicacy could not be the same as in the restaurant,
But I think it adds to the experience of takeout.
Yeah.
Now that we can't eat inside of restaurants, if you open your container and it looks pretty, I think it's definitely an added bonus.
Right. So it gives another experience, another way to your experience to order the food in the restaurant. During the pandemic, it's very important you have a pleasure, not only for tasting, but for the eyes too, I think. So, very easy recipe. I just put a little bit of sauce. And why I said it's easy, because I reuse every ingredient all the time during the recipe. And I'll show that on social media when I post when Jay actually will post the recipe.
Absolutely. Alvin, you were going to say something? Sorry.
Yeah, so I think it's, as I said, as Sam said, presentation does play a part in the competition. Not a major part, but it does play a part. And with restaurants nowadays, everybody's before they even touch the food has their camera out, their phone out for Instagram and all that. Okay, and I think in when we do takeaway, we should make a effort in the presentation, because we can do it in the box. Like the Japanese have been doing it in bonito boxes. So I think we should make an effort to for presentation, make them open the box, have a nice surprise, but you always have to have the right recipe. And I think Sam has the right recipe for nice presentation in the box, because there's not a lot of sauce in there to mess it up. The salmon is cured, it's not fully cooked, so it's not going to shrink. during the delivery process. So I think effort should be made in presentation in the times when everybody's eating from box. But you just need to get the right recipe. You have to have a strategy, making sure that when they open the box that you're seeing what you want the people to see, or what your client wants to see.
It's interesting you say that, Alvin. We were talking about that on my show a few weeks ago, that we recommend restaurants getting almost like your delivery mystery shopped in a sense, to really get people's perspective, to tell you what they're getting and how it looks. And if you are using a third-party delivery, are they taking that care when they're delivering your food? We hope they are, but because that's definitely, there's an experience there, and I'm glad you said that, because I think everyone sometimes thinks as soon as it goes into a carton or a takeout container, it doesn't have to have that attention. And we're going to live like this for a little bit until we get back into seeing beautiful dishes like Sam's doing there. But I'm glad you said that, because I truly believe in that same thing.
Yeah, but
stuff.
it's important to don't forget something. The product is very, very important, and now the salmon, the quality of the salmon is pretty nice, honestly. The meat of the salmon were pretty not flaky. Were very good way to cook it. It's very easy to put in marinade and to have something like very strong taste.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful, by the way, Sam. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's gorgeous, gorgeous. Ned, I have a question for you before we wrap up here and talk about the contest we're going to launch today. So, Ned, with people like yourself that are doing amazing stuff for the oceans and for seafood in Canada, are you seeing it get better? Because I've been in the industry 30 some years, and we've been just always talking about, like you said, it's a very sensitive subject. Is it getting better out there in the seafood world? Let's say, with people like yourself killing it and teaching us.
I'm an optimist, Jay. I think the reality is that we have more work to do. We all do, chefs and consumers for sure, from this place that we get to call home in Canada and really around the world. I mean, we actually import about 50% of the seafood that we consume here in North America. And so the reality is we all have to do better. And, how interesting that we're going through this incredible pandemic right now that's impacting every human. And of course, the ocean influences every single one of us every day of our lives. Every second breath we take comes from the ocean. So, the reality is it getting better? I think we have a lot of work to do. I think it has improved, but I think we continue to hammer the oceans. We need to look at what is sustainable seafood today and what will it be in the decades to come. Certainly aquaculture plays a big role. And if we're fortunate enough to still be able to eat wild fish, how lucky. Thank you, Mother Nature. But great organizations like Bocuse d'Or Canada and great companies like Sysco and, obviously the incredible fishermen and the scientists that are doing extraordinary work. And then the farmers that are growing incredible ingredients, whether it's grown in the ocean or on land. We're really lucky here in Canada, and we need to continue to dive deeper and do more.
That's awesome. And they can learn more if they go to your website. I was checking it out. You got awesome info there, as well as Bocuse does as well. Beautiful websites, by the way. But great information, Ned. And you got a couple books on there as well to teach people more about seafood. And thank you again, first of all, for being on our show. And Alvin, unbelievable to have you on my show as well. I'm just sitting back here geeking out on this side, just so you guys know. First of all, getting up this early and being on our show, and just outstanding. Sam, I can see why you're one of the best. Beautiful dishes. I love that plate, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a gorgeous plate. Unbelievable.
Thank you, Jay, and thank you, Sysco, again.
No, thank you. You guys are just blowing my mind here today. And Bridget, always, Alexi, thank you again for your time as well. You guys are rock stars. So what we're going to launch today is a little bit of we want to see your seafood ideas out there, your recipes. So Bridget, do you want to just kind of explain a little bit about that?
Sure. So the idea today was to inspire you to cook more with salmon or seafood in general. So thanks to our partners at Sysco, we're launching a little friendly competition. So we're inviting people to share their recipe using salmon or seafood on Instagram with the hashtag, I think it's inspired by Bocuse.
Yes, inspired by Bocuse.
Okay.
We'll have it at the bottom of this video. Or at the
Perfect.
top, we'll say where you put the hashtag and to send in your ideas. We want
And
to
you
see
could
them.
you could win $500 in Sysco credits. So that's not that's a pretty good prize, I think.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good order. It's a pretty good deal. Pretty good deal. A lot of salmon you can buy with that.
So I don't know, Jay, Ned, Sam, Alvin, I don't know. Somebody should collaborate on picking that winner. We'll follow that hashtag inspired by Bocuse and see what you guys come up with.
You know what?
in.
Here, let me. I gotta geek out 1 second here. But yeah, let's definitely do that. Sorry, I'm getting a selfie. That's what you do when you do these shows nowadays. Just remember what it's like. But I just gotta thank you again. So please, for all our listeners and people that watch this, it is actually going to be up on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. We are live every week with our SVK shows. We're not going away. We're going to continue to bring these amazing ideas. And we have 8 more of these with Bridget and the team here. So thank you again, everyone that got up early. Alvin, pleasure meeting you. Pleasure you being on our show. And everyone else, thank you again. And you know what? We're going to continue to support this industry. Get out there, do takeout, order salmon tonight or tomorrow. And definitely check out the recipe that we're going to have to post here from Sam as well. So thanks everyone again for watching today's show.
Thanks.
And we'll be back this Wednesday with customer stories and SVK. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Thank
See you guys.
you. Good luck, Sam.